Hello there, how are you? Very happy Friday, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out the Green Pill this week. Yes, it's a place where every Friday, a normal guy who's just really into digesting content on health and performance brings you all the best bits. There'll always be a credible source quoted and an action tip every week for anyone motivated to help make positive change in their lives. And it's all centered around this, what I consider the six key pillars to good health, that being the three structural, sleep, movement, and nutrition, and the three spiritual, that being meditation, people, and purpose. And now we come full circle back to the first pillar of good health, that being sleep. And this week's data source is Dr. Guy Meadows. He's a sleep physiologist with a PhD from Imperial College in London and co founder of the Sleep School. And he also acts as a corporate speaker, and businesses bring him in to be a sleep consultant for their employees. Now, why would that be a thing? Well, there's a very fundamental link between sleep and productivity. And Guy's an expert in this field, and he says that he helps a lot of people essentially by giving them advice all around how they can manage stress throughout their entire day. Because it impacts sleep so much. And one of the key aspects that he shares is the ability to detach and switch off after work. And I think it's harder than ever with technology, essentially, and also the working from home craze. That's obviously very popular in the last few years. And I think he mentions that spending time on other interests and with our loved ones and completely taking our mind off work is the equivalent for our brains to essentially recharging as we would do our phone. So it's really impactful on sleep. And the most startling statistic he shared was that people who've been awake for more than 17 hours, so AKA if you don't get the recommended at least 7 hours of sleep, the equivalent impact it has on your brain's ability to focus is equivalent to the legal limit of alcohol being in your system here in the UK. What? That's absolutely crazy. I had to rewind that a few times. That is nuts and scary when you think that we all turn up for work sleep deprived all the time and don't think anything of it. But what would you think if someone turned up drunk? Well, I've spent a lot of time in investment banking and recruitment, so I guess that's a matter of opinion, but I'm sure most wouldn't be too crazy about it. And I think it's so important. It's something I failed in a lot in my life in prioritizing sleep enough. I've always, I guess, somewhat disrespected it, and I think that's because of the hustle and bustle culture that we have out there, and almost the ability, the lack of sleep is popularized as being a good thing, but it's all BS. It's the science is there that shows to perform at your best, you need to prioritize sleep. So this week's action point, well, I want to actually first remind you of the action point from week 2 that I shared because Dr. Meadows also shares this, and that's to set a sleep alarm. I set one an hour before bed at my bedtime, and that annoying song going off every 9 minutes has significantly helped me in terms of getting to bed on time. And this week's action point, recommended by Dr. Meadows, is a simple but challenging one, and that's to leave the phone out of the bedroom because he just rightly explains it's too tempting. It is too tempting to have your entire life at your fingertips right next to you while you're trying to sleep. It's very difficult, and I think if you can, I would strongly recommend you try it and do let me know how you get on. I hope this was helpful, and yeah, please feel free to connect with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Fantastic weekend, and remember to stack the odds in your favor and feel good now.